false flag terror attacks, Bill Gates, Henry Kissinger, New World Order mind control, Bank of America stealing homes with cut and paste mortgage loans, police, state, taser guns, FEMA camps, land run, Monsanto rules the food supply while Big Pharma dopes your mind. Prison system, puppeteers, foundations, fund the beers, fund the evil through the years, the world's not as it appears. CIA smuggles drugs while Wachovia and Wells Fargo launder them, then give the proceeds to the owners of the Federal Reserve Bank. Now the IRS takes money out of every single check. Money they created out of thin air and leave you with debt. They want to make you a serf, a slave to their demand. They want to take your life in every way they can. Fluoride, GMO, vaccines, chemtrails, United Nations genocide. The world they show us is not real. This is how they kill and steal. Rothschild, Bundy, Rockefeller, Club of Rome. On the Georgia Guidestones it's written in stone. Cut through the matrix, awaken to the lies. Do not be hypnotized. We are one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
But you tell anybody this, that hey, the toothpaste is actually a poison. That's why you're not supposed to drink. I mean, swallow any more than a pea size. But then you tell them the phone number. You tell them to call the phone number, and they don't even believe you. They won't even call it because they don't even believe you. And some people that do believe you, they won't call it because they know that you're right. But the fluoride thing, since we're the first state in the union that actually made it a law. I actually went to the state of Connecticut's library and obtained all the legislative talk, all the actual documents that actually spoke on this. I actually had to pay, here it is, right here. I had to pay $80 to get all this. I had to pay taxes to put the fluoride in the water, and then I had to pay money to get why they put it in my water. See what I did with that was, like I said, I've been trying to deal with my city for like 2 years now, 2.5 at least. And through the whole time, I'm calling people, getting questions, and getting answers, and like I said, I'm being led a lot of times. Some people are actually giving me information so I can go off and I could use it. That's how I obtained some of my information I've got. No, I don't know if they necessarily knew it was bad. It's just that if you call different people all the time, you don't keep talking to the same people, and you keep asking the same question, you're gonna get, before you know it, you're gonna get a whole sentence answered. And it's like, one person's gonna give you a little tidbit here, the other one's gonna give you one here, and before you know it, you got a good answer on what your question really was. But this report right here, this is the quality certificate, which is. What I did was I put an FOIA request into the city of Waterbury for an actual test result of the fluoride in raw form. I wanted to see it. I wanted to, there's got to be something. Because the reason why I thought there could be something is because I was reading different newspaper articles, different information on fluoride. And one of these articles told me that, they test this fluoride. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should ask my city. Sure enough, they did. And when they sent this to me, you notice there's at the top there it says chemical analysis. That's the net HS. What is it? H2 ISIF. That is the actual element. That's the actual element of fluoride. Exactly. That is what that is right there. And that's the element number, as if you look in a periodic table. The next one below, I think, I'm not mistaken. If I might be mistaken, it's either a phosphate or a phosphorus. I mean, it's just, I would guess what it would be the same, but it's like a phosphate, and like, why would you be finding that in fluoride? And you know, that's something very interesting. Free acid. I tried to look up what free acid was. The only way I can figure out what free acid might be, and sometimes I took some information from some site and I took from another, and what I got was it was like a neutralizer. I don't know if anybody knows, they could respond on this and help, but I've Googled it. It said something like it's like a neutralizer, where I found one article about one person talking about free acid, and he was like, free acid is used in certain places where you're going to do tests to kind of like shadow the actual test results. So, you know what I mean? So maybe that free acid is in there to like actually diminish the amount of arsenic and lead that you see in there, to make it look like there's less. I'm assuming like free acid maybe may help in the test results to make a better test result, and you know, and to favor in what they're looking for. So maybe that's why free acid is in there. I don't know why free acid is in there. But then you look at lead and arsenic. Now, the state of Connecticut, the actual Connecticut Public Health, they actually say those are within range. They're recommended. So, you know, so we have a recommended within range. Do we have to be consuming all this stuff? I mean, seriously? I actually talked to them today, and they, woof, man, let me tell you. For one thing, no one can answer a question. They're all, I'm an engineer. I can't answer a question. My question I really need to ask was, is fluoride a medicine? And everybody that talked to me today was like, oh, no, it's naturally occurring. And I would go, oh, really, ma'am? I go, okay, well, if it's naturally occurring, then what is the hydrofluoric acid that's being put in my water? It's a not natural. I go, calcium fluoride is a natural fluoride, and hydrofluoric acid isn't. And she's like, I'm like, okay. And I kept going on, and I was like, now, I don't know. Now, the reason why I'm only making this assumption, okay, just through the information I see, we purchase our fluoride. The city water breed purchases the fluoride from, what is it called? Mosaic Crop and Nutrition. They're actually a fertilizer company. They have fertilizers and stuff like that. Exactly. Which is and like, to the conspiracy theories, we're told that, oh, that's just a flake, they don't make it. Well, then why the hell is Mosaic Crop and Nutrition, a fertilizer company, selling a fluoride? Now, like I said, if you look at the chemical analysis, the second one below, that actually is phosphate. So I looked it up and see what phosphate. Yeah, and I looked it up, and according to what I'm seeing, it's according to what I was kind of looking at, it's a phosphate. So interesting enough, fertilizer, which creates phosphate, it has some kind of play involved in the creation of fertilizer, phosphates. So we're finding that in here. And then lead and arsenic? Really? I mean, we're happy with this? This is okay? So I asked the woman, is this a medicine? And she said, no, it's not. It's naturally occurring. And I put her on the spot, because like I said, I asked her, then why are we using hydrofluoric acid? And she kind of was, stumped at a minute, because I kind of knew what I was talking about for a second. And then I mentioned to her, I go, we purchased our fluoride from Mosaic, and I go, I could only assume, according to the conflict of interest, that not only do they make fertilizers, but the fluoride is an actual byproduct of their fertilizer production. She's like, oh, no, it's not. Fluoride is actually manufactured. I go, whoa, hold up, ma'am. I go, you just told me it's naturally occurring. So then why are you telling me now it's manufactured? It's just, sir, you know what? I'm really busy right now, but if you give me your name and number, I will get back to you as soon as possible. I'll call you tomorrow maybe, but I have to go to a meeting, you know, come up with these excuses. One lady actually said I was being hostile to her. And the only reason why I would assume that she would do that is, for one, I'm a stern guy when I talk anyways, but she didn't want to hear, you know, she was being put in her place, I guess, if you could say. She couldn't answer anything. You know, and then she mentioned herself to be an engineer many of times. Oh, I'm an engineer, and I'm an engineer, and I'm an engineer. And then she's like, you know, can you give this guy a call? And I go, and I ask questions all the time. I go, how much do I know that this person that you're going to give me his phone number that I'll get a call back? She goes, oh, he'll call back right away. I go, just like you did? Because I left a message with you yesterday. And she's like, oh, well, I'm a busy person. I don't just work here. You know, I have a life.
Hello, I'm Dr. Bill Osmondson. I'm a general and cosmetic dentist and have been a dentist for 30 years. Before that, I received a master's in public health in nutrition and health education. For the first 25 years of practice, I promoted water fluoridation aggressively. I thought I saw the benefits. It wasn't until I actually looked at the information myself and sat down and looked at the different government agencies and the different reports and the studies that I began to realize that fluoridation was a problem. One of the first things I did is I looked at my tube of toothpaste. It says drug facts. I know it's a drug. If I were to give it to you, it'd have to be a prescription. That's for swallowing. When it comes to toothpaste, it also says don't swallow. And if you do swallow, contact the Poison Control Center. Well, the amount of fluoride that they're talking about is a pea-sized amount of fluoride. You probably don't see that in advertisements, a pea-sized amount of fluoride. Usually when I see an advertisement, it looks more like a Dairy Queen ice cream cone. That amount is a 1/4 milligram of fluoride. Well, that's the same amount of fluoride as what we find in 8 ounces of water. 1/4 milligram of fluoride, 1/4 milligram of fluoride. Don't swallow. If you do, call the Poison Control Center. One of the things that concerns me is water fluoridation for infants. The American Dental Association and Center for Disease Control recommend that infants not receive water for drinking nor for making their formula. It's 250 times more concentrated in fluoride than mother's milk. We shouldn't fluoridate water and harm our most vulnerable. The next thing I looked at was dental fluorosis. These are the white and brown spots on the teeth. The only thing that causes dental fluorosis is fluoride. Too much fluoride ingested, usually during the developing years, birth to about 8 years of age. When I see people coming in to have treatment for dental fluorosis, I mention to them that they have had too much fluoride. And this is an indication that the rest of their body has probably had too much fluoride also, their bones and in the rest of their organs. Damage from dental fluorosis is not disputed. Everyone agrees that too much fluoride can cause dental fluorosis. About 1/3 of children are now experiencing fluorosis, according to the CDC. The next thing I wanted to look at was benefits. What are the benefits of it? I've heard reports of 20 to 40%, 60%, 80% tooth reduction with water fluoridation. So what is the benefit of water fluoridation? And I had a close look at several factors. One, comparing different countries of the world, we can see that no matter what we do on fluoridation, whether the country fluoridates or no fluoride at all, decay is reduced the same amount in all countries. We can compare states in the United States. We can see on a graph that as they're plotted in order of increased amount of fluoridation in the state, fluoridation doesn't make any difference. We have the same amount of good health in the states regardless of their fluoridation. Same thing for counties and other locations. That was disturbing to me. If there's no benefit, well, why are we fluoridating? I have 2 requests for you. One is to talk to your dentist and your healthcare provider about fluoridation. Ask them if they've seen the National Academy of Science report on fluoridation. Give them information that they may not have on water fluoridation and excess fluoride exposure. That helped me when my patients casually, calmly, quietly said, have a look at this. This doctor, this dentist is concerned about water fluoridation. What do you think? None of us professionals want to harm our patients. Our whole lives are given to improving the health of people, not harming them. And so for those of you who are healthcare professionals, I highly urge you to look once again at the science on fluoridation. Science doesn't need to be scary. It's just information. Spend a little bit of time looking at it on both sides of the issues. Don't just look at one side filtered. Look at both sides and weigh it for yourself. The other thing is to sign an online petition with me at fluoridealert.org. The online petition requests Congress to have hearings on fluoridation. It also recommends that we no longer fluoridate our water. Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty important. I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about that, man? Are you still there? Here's a little more information. You can put on your mic. We can chat.
That's awesome.
All right, you will know here where the fluorine has just been introduced.
Yeah, let me get another one going here.
There is a distinct stimulation of all the cells as they react to the poison. This we take to be a defense mechanism.
Am I clear?
Begin to slow up.
Oh yeah.
And reproduction is.
I just unplugged my mic. I forgot that. I didn't.
No problem.
Yeah, that was a good clip. I mean, I've seen that already anyways.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. It's famous, but those that are not awake don't believe.
No, really. He says it right all right. It's a perfect example.
Of the destruction of cells by
perfusion. We're talking over the destruction of cells. These are brain cells being destroyed.
Notice the swelling of the mitochondria.
I just don't get it.
Body of the cells
that I talk to pertaining to the.
Notice the compaction.
Kind
of the material.
People that are in charge, people that are
supposed
to be checking the balance and everything, they're like so conformed to this. It's like, no, well, it's and then to ask questions like it, it's like, how dare you ask about why fluoride is in the water?
Of the membranes around
That's what it's like. It's like, wow, why would you be calling about this?
For
really?
them to absorb foodstuff.
What do you care? What do you care? Right? Why are you doing
like that?
Why waste your time?
There are no cells
not everybody. You take your showers with fluoride. You can't. What do you? You know
what she said? No, I was told that doesn't do nothing.
Most of the cells are dead.
Go ahead.
She was like,
or dying.
I mentioned that to one of the ladies there.
The toxicity
at the health department. I was like, your biggest organ is your skin, and your skin would absorb the fluoride. She goes, it only gets in when it's ingested.
Oh, really?
I'm like,
in summary, I wish to make it very
clear
again
that
this film which we have just seen is a graphic record of what we and Dr. Berry and Joe Wood have seen in our cultures
in your body
when they were perfused with dilute.
And I'm like, well, your skin absorbs this.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you serious? I didn't get any deeper with her, you know what I mean? Because I could already tell how dumbed down she is, and it's not even.
That's part of the dumbing down. Is this whole, it literally dumbs you down.
You don't understand. I'm an engineer, so for me to be questioning an engineer.
Oh my God! I mean, she's got probably a Rockefeller-funded university.
Oh, don't talk. Don't say nothing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean, for me to even be questioning this to her was like, how dare you question me? I'm the engineer that oversees all this.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, hey, listen, you know what? I know a physicist, Dr. Carpenter, who has a workable treatment for cancer that involves none of this medical mafia stuff, but, they call her crazy, This is what they do. And if you're against fluoride, they're going to call you crazy too. But, hey, it's better to be crazy than dead.
That's what I say, it is what it is. I mean, if
it's crazy.
And I always use like not our founding fathers more to say, but like people like Martin Luther King, because this hits home to a lot of people, where he was able to get the beginning of if you want to call it civil rights. I don't even think we have any rights in this country at all. But the philosophy of what he was doing. You know, what if Martin Luther King said, you know what could one black-ass man do? I ain't doing it. And didn't go.
You know, that's a great point. That's an awesome point. That's why we do what we do. Dude, Jim, isn't that why we do what we do? Because
exactly.
we know
I'm over here saying,
change requires action.
I say it all the time, though. What could one dumb-ass white boy going to do in this country right now? I say it all the time. Yeah. But you know what? Then I say, well, you know what? If I don't do something, I can't bitch about this. But, you know, I'm a talker. I like to bitch about what's going on. So I have the right because I'm making action, no matter what it may be. If it's volunteering one day, and if it's going down and showing the Occupy Wall Street, what we really should be occupying is the Federal Reserve. You know, talking to our aldermen, meeting up with newspapers. Right now, I know in the city of Waterbury, they have like this thing called Adopt a Spot, where you could take like I think they would give you one. You would be chosen one for you, like an area that is part of the city, like an island in the middle of in the middle of a road or something like that, and you maintain it, you keep it clean, you know, whatever. I think you could put bushes on it and make it look all beautification, you know. So you know, I'm thinking about adopting one, and all you need to do is just give them a phone call and put your damn name on it. It's that easy, and go down there and take care of it. What's so hard about that? And that's the change you got to see in the world. You know, it doesn't have to be about being an activist all the time. People think that, you know, to get involved you have to be an activist and go down to Wall Street and stand there with your bullhorn and go 9/11 is an inside job. Dude, we all know that. We need to get our congressman to understand that. So get on the phone.
Yeah.
Meet up with your congressman.
Yeah.
I met with my congressman, you know, Mr. Chris Murphy, but his aide.
Well, listen,
you know,
listen. Wait a minute. I don't want to talk about Chris Murphy because this is going to get into a vile conversation. Chris Murphy, Lieberman, Joe Courtney.
They're great men.
Oh, my God. These guys, first of all, listen to this. This is on record. This is big time. Puppets. Big time. Now, Courtney and Murphy both sponsored the bill to audit the Federal Reserve. Co-sponsored the bill. Guess what they did when the bill came up for vote?
Oh, vote no.
They voted against it.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody cares. Like George Carlin says, nobody cares, nobody wonders.
That clip is a great clip when he talks about the American dream.
Yeah, I get a lot of hassles from YouTube if I include it. Believe me, I would, but they always fuck with me when I do it. Even though it's fair use, and everything here is fair use. Everybody, please, I implore everybody to share this information. You can download this for free from YouTube on Freedom First Films once it's posted. Everything is downloadable, shareable. You can go in everywhere you want. And they don't like it. Believe me, they don't like it. But we have to wake them up.
All over the website.
This is like unbelievable. It's not like, this isn't a joke, everybody. I mean,
no,
we're being attacked. We're being attacked, literally.
Well, here's how bad we're being attacked. Here's how bad we're being attacked. When I was speaking with the lady with the health department, and I told her about Fluoride, and she's kind of, we were talking, right in the beginning, she was like, oh, let me guess. You don't want fluoride in your water, do you?
I'm a good little Nazi.
But towards the end of the conversation, when we were speaking, you know, because she was like, well, you know, sir, if you don't like the fluoride in the water, you're welcome to go buy water or get a filter for your faucet. I go, really? So not only do I pay the taxes for you to tell me this, but I also pay the taxes for you to purchase the fluoride and administer it. And then I have to go buy bottled water and filter systems with the money that you've been taxing? I go, how do I afford all this? It's just, I was like, that's ignorant. It's just an ignorant response. For me, how about this? If you want fluoride, go get your own.
Well said, brother. Well said. Listen, I got to tell you that. Exactly. I mean,
I have to get a filter. Why don't you get fluoride?
Right. Exactly. You know, my next door neighbor, she's 10 doors down, up the block. is Michelle Cook. She's the state rep here. Now, I know you got your state reps. Now, we have to talk about this because every state is different. Some have city mandates, some have counties, some have state mandates. Mostly states in America. Now, we just saw on that video how most of the world really doesn't fluoridate the water. They do not. There is no correlation at all to tooth decay.
There's no nutritional value.
There's no value in it. It just kills you and gives you diseases and dumbs you down. It's on record, and there's another video at the end of this video we're going to play just now. We still have about 10 minutes to go here, everybody. And then we have Harry Link, Death to the New World Order, at 10:11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TruthBroadcastNetwork.com. Want to give a thanks out to Pam Suggs, who is my absolute savior in so many counts. She keeps everything moving out there, and she watches my back, and God bless you, Pam, and God bless you, Harry, as well. And also, Chris.
And I'd like to say something before we hop off this too.
Oh, we're not hopping off. We got 10 minutes to go.
All right, awesome.
I just thanking people because I don't like to do it at the end. I just say goodnight because I usually talk to the end.
Hey,
Sorry, this way I don't forget. This way I don't forget. So I just want to thank them all because they make this thing happen, and they're excellent at what they do, and are just great people, and God bless them all. So moving on here, but yes, I wanted to show this thing. Now we got about 10 minutes to go here, and this little end of this clip is just about a minute or so, and it's this guy discussing the dangers of this, but yet they still put it all into effect. So they just did not. Anybody that made a documentation of this information that was on the negative was just excluded from the survey or from the research study. That's how they do this with the drugs. That's how they get all this stuff that's killing us. That's how they do it. Anyway,
they did it with our petitions back in the day too.
Absolutely, that's exactly right. And now I'm just going to show you. Actually, I'm going to put you in a little corner there so we can watch everybody. And this is this guy, this doctor that we were just showing from like 1958, I believe this is, which is cool to actually get a film from that era when this is all happening. Where is that thing? I got to find the little. Hey, what's happening here? There we go.
Seen in our cultures when they were perfused with dilute solutions of sodium fluoride. This film itself is presented here only to show that mammalian cells in tissue cultures can be and are damaged by fluorides, and some even killed when their contact with sodium fluoride is in the concentration of 1 part in 30 million. And we do have photographic records showing almost the same thing in 1 part in 60 million. Poisonous sodium fluoride in these concentrations may not be toxic enough
you don't hear him?
to kill
I'm sorry, I had the thing muted there.
No, it's funny because what he's talking about is like he's saying that it doesn't matter. It is, in other words, these the numbers as they have them. It doesn't have any beneficial effect no matter what level you put it at, but it of course destroys organs at any level. So that's what he's stating. It's right there. And everybody, just listen to this again. I'm going to play this little section again. Everybody just give a quick listen. It's only about I'll go back about 5 seconds. Yeah, that's about all you got to go.
May not be toxic enough to kill enough.
Here we go.
Concentrations may poisonous sodium fluoride in these concentrations may not be toxic enough to kill the cells or to destroy an organ or possibly the individual himself. Nevertheless, in human body, such poisons are subtle, insidious, and if prolonged over months and years, as in this case,
in other words, it bioaccumulates. Like the vaccines and everything else. It bioaccumulates like the vaccines and everything else. That's what it does.
Of 1 part in 30 million. And we do have photographic records showing almost the same thing in 1 part in 60 million. Poisonous sodium fluoride in these concentrations may not be toxic enough to kill the cells or to destroy an organ or possibly the individual himself. Nevertheless, in human body, such poisons are subtle, insidious, and if prolonged over months and years, as in this case where fluoridated water is being used, chronic disorders and upsets of function in one or more of the vital organs may ensue. Outward manifestations of such toxic...
I mean, how much more do you have to hear? I mean, come on. Think about it. How much more do you have to hear about this guy?
Oh, man.
I mean, organs might fail, all this shit. I mean, bone cancer. This is just scratching the surface, like everything else in this bottomless pit of evil that is the New World Order.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't it so loving? Isn't it loving? Come on.
Great.
It's like they love us.
But, dude...
Well, this guy does love us. He's saying it's poisonous.
You'll never
Don't
have
use it.
ever again, though. You know, that's my alderman said. My alderman had no...
But it doesn't help tooth decay. You know that.
could not answer anything pertaining to fluoride. Just the fact that he remembers when he was a kid, the tooth decay was there, and his kids don't have tooth decay now, and he could see that it has been doing something better. And that's why he thinks fluoride should be in the water. He had nothing else
nothing to say, nothing to do with having it going to it for getting insurance so that your dental insurance covers 2 cleanings a year.
Well, you know what's really interesting? In that legislative talk I got here, that the 277 pages, there's actually one of the senators actually mentions that. He's like, he goes, they're like, what I find really interesting is the fact that these dentists are pushing for this. Wouldn't this drive them out of their business? And he goes, I find it really troublesome that that these people are endorsing something like this, saying that it will reduce tooth decay when their own jobs pertain to more tooth decay. You make more money if you had more tooth decay. Why would you not? It's just, I can't even understand why we even have fluoride in the water. I really feel sad for my grandparents that were living around that time when these decisions were being made. They should have stepped up. They really should have. All of our parents have failed us. Every one of us. Every one of our parents. And our grandparents have. I'm about 34 years old. So, my grandmother's passed away and my grandfather's passed away, but they were in their 80s. So anybody that knows anybody around that age, if they still aren't talking about this, they failed us. And it's sad to say, and you know what? The truth does hurt. I mean,
hey, wait a minute. Who was it that you had a person from Connecticut that was fighting fluoride being put in 1965 when it became a state mandate? Who was it? We're going to try to get this guy on air. What's his name again?
David Wagner.
Talk about him a little, yeah.
Well, he didn't.
We only have a minute, so yeah.
Well, before the minute goes, dude, we don't have enough time to talk about David Wagner, but
I actually got a hold of him. That's great.
I got a hold of him, yeah. And
great, we're going to get him on air. Yeah.
He knows about all this crap and he's sick of it. But what I do want to tell people is you don't need to know anything about fluoride to get involved with fluoride. You just have the right to have clean water, and that should be the case. And get involved. Stop sitting in the couch. Stop watching TV. Stop playing video games. Get your butt out the door. Get on the horn. Get on the streets. Talk to people. If you don't have any kind of that, it's not your forte, we're talking to people, come get involved other ways, So come join the group. Come get involved.
Yeah, www.wearechangeCT.org.
We have many chapters around the state. You can make your own.
And why don't we give a call out to all the chapters in the 1 minute we have left, brother?
Yeah, we got the Wallingford chapter with Matt. We have Central Connecticut with Ryan. We have a new one that might be popping up in Deep River, Connecticut, with Randy. So,
great.
These are all on the...
Your Skype is a little choppy on the video. Is it coming through on your shot looking that way?
It looks like my face is cut off.
Yeah, it's a little choppy. Yeah, I don't know why, but I see that not from my monitor, but from my broadcast speed. The actual broadcast speed is a little distorted. That's a technical error from Skype. Sorry, but this is our first attempt at actually doing a visual Skype, and I'm happy that we did it.
Pretty good.
It's pretty good, and I'll get the hang of it again, and I'm working on it. Thank you, everybody. God bless you. This is Howard Nema of We Are Change Connecticut with my co-founder and brother and Liberty person. Get involved. Jim Russell. Thank you, Jim, for all you do.
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Excellent. God bless you. Again, now we have...
Long live the Republic, people.
Long live the Republic. That's right. And we're going to just have now, we have Death to